Wonderful. All right, so this morning we're going to be learning. Yeah.
No. No, I'm sorry, Rabbi Hillel. I won't be able to answer much because I'm not in front of the computer yet, okay? So I apologize.
No, that's fine. That's all right. Thank you for coming. So this morning we're going to learn some vowels. Okay, so we're going to learn their real names. Like I'm not going to say the E sound or the A sound. I did that for a reason so that we don't get ahead of ourselves. So most languages have an A, E, E, or U sound. Most languages, not all of them. So we're going to learn the Hebrew equivalent of them. So let's start with the first sound, which is an A or an A. So if you see this T, for example, and let's put it under Aleph, for example. So this T over here is called a patach. Actually, it's called a kamatz, not a patach. So this is our kamatz. Kamatz, and it's a wide open ah. It's wide open. It's an ah. And then we have what's called it's called a kamatz maleh. Kamatz maleh is this sound here, which is a kamatz. But the kamatz is not alone. It is accompanied. Let's put an aleph again there just so that we have a reference. It is accompanied by a hey. So let's give an example, e.g., if I say what. In Hebrew, when we say what, we say ma, 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 which means what. So this ma is an even longer ah. It's ma, and then an invisible ah. So we pretend as if it's got three H's here. So it's ma. So this one now, because it has a hey accompanying it, it's called a kamatz maleh, which means a complete kamatz. It's called a kamatz maleh. It means it's a complete kamatz. It's an even longer kamatz than just this one. Does it make sense?
Can you repeat?
So this is kamatz. It's a long ah, right? So we pretend as if it's A-H-H in English. Ah, okay? And then we have a kamatz maleh, which is a complete kamatz. It is accompanied with the hey sound, the letter hey, like ma. So it sounds like there's three H's in ah. You understand? Okay. So if I were to write this kamatz maleh, again, it would be, for example, if I use Roman numerals, it would be like ma with an extra H here. You see this H that I'm talking about? Ma with the extra hey and extra H. Ma. So that's a kamatz male, which means it's a complete kamatz. So let's use a real example, and we ask, what is this? We say, ma maze, right? Maze with segol here. Maze, we don't have obviously question marks in Hebrew, so you will see at the end a colon or a semicolon. That's just a question mark. Maze, in English, it means what is this, right? Can you see all right on my board? Do you want me to make my board a little bit bigger so that you can see better? Or is it okay like this?
Yes. No, please, I was gonna.
All right.
Right
How's
there, I have a question. Yeah, keep. Yes, it's better. It's better.
okay?
Centralize it. Okay. Now, so that means that you don't know what expression we will. They don't have question mark. They have to.
Yeah. So you, you'll never in most cases you'll never see a question mark in most cases, but sometimes you see a colon or a semicolon. That means a question mark. That means a question mark. For you to actually know what it means, you actually have to look at the root of the phrase, which is ma. Then you know it means what, and then you go, okay, it could be a question, and then you'll get
Okay.
these. Then you get these two dots.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have them, your only clue is going to be ma, the word what.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for their
So,
symbols, they have this symbol.
exactly. Sometimes they have. Yeah. So this is the symbol. Sometimes they have it, some they don't. This just means a question mark.
Thank
No problem. Let me see what the group is saying. Do they have a link? I hope they do. It was in the email. So I always send the links. The links always go with the email. Anyways, so this is the first, excuse me, this is the first A sound, all right? This is the first A or A sound that we have in Hebrew. It's a kamatz, and then there's a kamatz maleh, which is a complete A or a complete kamatz. The second A sound that we have is a patach, all right? So we have another A sound, and it's a line like this, it's a patach. So let's put maybe kuf or kaf on top of patach to make the ka sound. So if we have this going on, actually put it in black. When we have kuf, you'll always find patach here. If it's kamatz, you'll find a kamatz underneath the second part of kuf. So in English, the phonetic here is ka. Okay, so this one is called a patach. Okay, so the A sound that looks like a T is a kamatz. The one that looks like a flat line is a patach. And then let's give an example of a patach. Let's say here ha'ish. Does somebody know what ha'ish means? What does ha'ish mean? There's a question mark. What does ha'ish mean? Anybody know?
Isn't not the ish?
Hmm?
Isn't the ish a man?
100%. Well done, Mama.
But
That's
don't know.
yeah. So it's good that you ask, because now we can look at the construction of this word ha'ish. So ish means a man. Ha is the, or ha'ish, the man. So ha is the, and then ish, man or a man. So you are correct. So whenever you see the construction of the plus a noun, here we have isha, which is a woman. So here is ha playing the role of the in English. The man, the woman. Ha'ish, ha'isha. Oh, are we recording? Yes, we are recording. That's good. Because if I take something off, I want to know that you can go back and watch it again. Okay, so we have a patach. Now you know that a patach is also an a sound, but patach is a shorter sound. It's shorter than kamatz. What does it mean? It means that it's a. You see, my kamatz has two H's, 1 and 2. Kamatz maleh, which is complete, it has 3 H's. But patach is an A sound or an A sound, but with only 1 H, which means it's shorter. You understand?
Mm.
Okay, good. So now we go to what's called a half patach, which is chataf patach. So how does chataf patach look like? It's a half patach with these 2 dots right there. And again, we're going to use Aleph as just an example letter that we can use. There's Aleph, but Aleph now has a short ah. What does that mean, the short ah? It means this is now called let me just, this is now called a chatav. I need red. In my brain, I need red, not the other color. So we have a chataf patach, which basically means a half patach. So we have a, which is a full sound with 2 H's. We have kamatz maleh with 3 H's, 1, 2, 3, which is a longer a, like maze. Then we have patach, which is a shorter a, as in ha'ish. Now we have an even shorter a sound, which is a. So it's a, and a. So chatav patach is ah. It's an even shorter a sound. It's called the chatav patach. Okay. Sometimes some people pronounce it almost like an O, but it's actually an A sound. But it's a shorter A sound. So it's an A without an H. You see, all my other A's have H's. 1, 2 H sound. Kamatz maleh has 3 H sounds. Patach has 1 H sound. And chataf patach has got no H sound, which tells you that it's an even shorter ah. Very interesting, right? Any questions? Let me give you an example of chataf patach or half patach in the word. Let's do the word in black so it sticks in our heads. Let's do the word machlatzot. So the word mach. So we have here a patach, as you can see, and then in the chet we have a half patach, and then we have lamed, and the kamatz. We have tzad, vav with a cholem. Cholem, you'll learn cholem just now, and the tav. So this word is machlatzot. So let's transliterate it. Machlatzot. Listen to the way that I read this short sound. This is what we are interested in. The chataf patach. I don't say machalatzot. Okay? I don't say machalatzot. Because the problem then would be here. There's no A sound, there's no long A sound. Machalatzot has got an A sound, but correctly it is machlatzot. And I want you to notice it is not machalatzot. Because if I do machalatzot, it means that there's a long A sound here, which is a kamatz, and then it would mean that there's a patach here, which is not the case. So instead of a patach, we have a chataf patach. So I have to erase the deep A sound. So it becomes machlatzot. Machlatzot. Can you see it? Machlatzot. The A is very brief and very short. Machlatzot. Machlatzot. You got it?
Just swallow that A.
Swallow the A.
Macha.
That's what these two dots. Machala.
Machla.
That's what those two dots are saying. They say swallow the A, so that it sounds very little. Machlatzot.
Okay.
Let's look at another example, which is ma'amad. Yes.
Rabbi Hillel, I apologize. I didn't hear what machlatzot means.
Machlatzot,
mean-
that's very interesting. That's very interesting because I don't actually know what it means, but I can read it.
Okay, good. All right, correct.
So I'm at the stage. I'm at the stage where I can read everything and I can recognize the structure of the words, but now I have to learn my vocabulary so I can tell you what something means. You understand what I mean?
We'll grow together. Yes, we'll grow together.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly. Exactly. So when I know what it means, then I'll share it. But I'm just a reader at the moment. I'm just reading and I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? And it's a slow growth. So the second example is ma'amad. So we have ein and a patach, a chatav patach. We have another mem here with a kamatz and a dalet. So this is ma'amad, ma'amad, ma'amad. So we have this going on. Actually, we have a very short ma, and a very short a again, mad, ma'amad, ma'amad, ma'amad. So the A again is swallowed, mad. Okay, so maybe everybody else is sleeping this morning, or maybe they just want to see the recording. All right, so let's go to a new sound now, which is E, or the E vowel. So we've got A, now we go to E for A, E, I, O, U, right? Like grade 1 children. So now we have a new sound, which is called segol. These 3 dots. These are called segol. And it's an E sound, like this. E, like that.
Mm.
And then maybe we can try and make it, we can add a letter to it so that we can find our bearings. If I add mem, it becomes me. So it's these 3 dots are called a segol. And then we have 2 dots like this. They look like a segol, but it's missing something. And this is called a tsere. Tsere. Tsere is just plain e. There's no H sound. Segol is deep, so it has an H sound. E, that's one H. Tsere doesn't have, it's just an E sound on its own. For example, if I ask the question, A4, right? A4, which means where? For example, A4, Miriam, where's Miriam? A4, where? So it's not A4, it's A4. Where is Miriam? It's a short sound. Question.
Shalom, Rabbi. Meaning the segol is a long E, whereas tere is a short E.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So segol is long and full. You can also use the word full. And this one is short. It's short and sharp. You can call it short, you can call it sharp. Segol, tere. Segol, tere. Can you hear it in my tone? And then we have a segol male, which means a complete segol. What does that mean? It means that the complete segol is going to be a segol accompanied by the letter yud. Look at the letter yud over here. So this is called a segol male, which means a complete segol. So that means a complete segol is an E sound, which is long, plus another H. Excuse me. So it becomes me, and this last H obviously is swallowed in the yod. It almost sounds like a may, but it's not a may, it's a me, and that's a complete. It's a may, so it's a, we're gonna call it a continuous air. A continuous air. That's what we're gonna call it. Because it's got that Yod, me. But if we want to make it precise, if you want to make it precise, then you use another segol male, which is segol. Let's use mem again as an example. Actually, that's not an example, that's the actual sound with the hey. So now we have the same segol male, just a different way of writing it. With the same segol male, now it is a plus h as well, but it's not continuous. Does it make sense?
Can I ask what's the difference?
Okay, so it's the same segol male, but this one is me. It's got a little bit of the continuation, me. It's got a little bit of the tail. This one is me, and me.
Okay,
So one is continuous, the other one is not continuous.
thanks.
And then we have tsere male. So here's our tsere, which are the two sounds. And then we're going to use mem again. So this is tsere male. It also has a long and continuous me, not me, me, me. This is tsere, tsere male, which means a complete tsere, me. And then we have the me as well, which is, don't worry about how you're going to remember this. You're going to see it in the scriptures, and you will remember it. You will never forget it. You'll always remember it. And then we have also is a tsere male, which is this sound here. Me. This one is continuous. This one is not continuous, but both are tsere male. They sound the same. This one is me. This one is me. Hey, hey, but it's the same complete sound. And then we have a shva. Okay, we have a shva. The shva also falls under the me sound, but it's a little bit different. So this, let me create some more space here and write the letter mem first, because this one you have to really see it. So I'm going to make it in red like this. All right, this is called, it should be called a shewa or a shwa, but in modern Hebrew, which has a Germanic pronunciation, people say that this is shva. People say shva. That's just a Germanic pronunciation of the W sound. In Hebrew, it's shewa or shwa. Shewa. You see? So what does the shewa mean? The shewa, when you see this two dots, they say to you that pronounce the letter as normal. Pronounce the letter as normal. Let's look at the word to speak. The verb to speak in Hebrew is medaber. And then it has a shwa, medaber, medaber. It doesn't say me da ber. So there's no long sound. There's no sound like me. It's more like medaber, like this. Medaber, which means to speak. It's your first verb. The first verb that you learn in Hebrew is to speak, medaber. Okay? To speak with a K, sorry. Medaber, to speak. So what do you see in medaber? You see a shva. Because it's medaber and not medaber. No. Let's look at another verb that we could use in Hebrew with a shva. For example, lehaglit. Lehaglit. In Hanukkah, we use lehaglit to light the candles. It means to light. The bracha for the Shabbat candles is also lehaglit, and also we use lehaglit, which means to light or to kindle for Hanukkah. So this lehaglit, the verb has the shva here. It means there's no vowel. You must pronounce the letter as normal. So we cannot say lehaglit or lahaglit. We say lehaglit because it's lamed, lehaglit. Here, medaber, not medaber, medaber because of the shva. So that's the meaning of the shva. It says pronounce the letter as per normal without assigning a vowel to the letter. Does it make sense? I'm going to give you an example of the shva. Let's do this. Don't stress about if you're not going to remember it or not, or whatever the case might be. You're going to see it and you're going to recognize it very, very easily. So let's take the word maybe yishmeru, yishmeru or yishmeru. It's going to be yod, shin, mem, reish or reish, and u. Vav with the dot with the dagesh is an u sound. Okay, the vav with the dagesh is an u. So yishmeru, it's not yishmeru or yishemeru. So we have shva here and shva here. So how should we pronounce this? The right way is yish, like an apostrophe, yish apostrophe, meru, yish, a short e, a yishmeru, yishmeru. Okay. Because there's two shvas here. There's one shva, there's a second shva. Yishmeru. The incorrect way of pronouncing it is yishme. Actually, the incorrect way of pronouncing it would be yishemeru. This would be incorrect because there's no e and there's no e. Instead, there's a shva, which means pronounce as per normal. Yishmeru. Yishmeru. You understand? Everybody got it?
Yes.
The dot under the yod.
So the dot under the yod or yud here, we're going to learn just now. This is chirik. So chirik in English is the E, as in like chicken. But we're going to get to chirik just now. We're just doing all the vowels so that we can read. We're going to start reading today. We're going to read the first prayers when we wake up, and then we're going to try and read Modéani, and then we're going to try and read Psalm chapter 1, verses 1 and 2. But we cannot read without vowels. We need the vowels to be able to read. All right, so that was an example. You can always go you can always go back to the video and relearn it. All right, so let's go and learn a short vowel, mi, or chirik. There's chirik. So we're now learning the E sound, and the E sound is represented by a dot at the bottom. So if you see one dot at the bottom, and then you see maybe the letter chet, for example, the word chizuk, which I forgot what it means, but I have all these Hebrew words in my head, but I'm slowly trying to learn their meaning. So if you see the chi, that's called a chirik, and that's an E sound. Sometimes the E sound is accompanied with a yud. Okay. In most cases in the Bible, when you see an E sound, it's going to be accompanied with it's going to be a chirik plus yod to express E. Sometimes you will not see a yud. Sometimes it will just be chirik on its own. For example, the word me, which means from. For example, mi Yerushalayim, or we can say mi is ra mi Misrael. What does it mean? It means from Israel. Mi Misrael. From Israel. Okay, so that's what the mi means. It means from. Mi Israel, from Israel. So we have a chirik here, which is the E sound. Pretty simple. And then we have a chirik maleh, which is a complete chirik. So the chirik maleh is going to be like this. We have a mi, we have a chirik here, but now it's got a yud. So now this is called a chirik maleh. Chirik maleh, because it has an accompaniment. That means it's a complete chirik. Me. For example, if I say chatati, which means I have sinned, chatati. So that T at the end is that tav is accompanied by chirik maleh, a complete E sound, chatati. If I say because, I say ki, which means for, therefore, or because. That's a complete chirik, or a complete chirik maleh. Here I showed you a normal chirik, which is just a dot. Here it's complete. It's maleh because it's got a yod accompanying it. So it's ki. Ki mitzion Torah. You know, that song. So that ki is a complete chirik, a complete e sound. So if we want to say, for example, a Jew, I wonder, is a Jew actually pronounced with written with an Aleph, or maybe let's leave Ivrit. Let's just use the word Ivri. So if I make an example with the word Ivri, which is going to be like this. This is now Ivri. Actually, it should be with a V sound like this. Ivri, like that. So how do I know it's an E? Because the Ain, this letter Ain, it has a chirik over here. So there's a chirik, and the Shva or the Shewa is telling me that I mustn't put a vowel under the Veit. So Shua says pronounce Veit as normal. And then there's a complete chirik maleh at the end. So here is a chirik maleh, a complete chirik. And here it says I mustn't put a vowel. Here it's just a normal chirik. Chirik maleh, complete, normal chirik. So there we have Ivri. Sorry, not Ivri or Ivri. Ivri. Make sense?
Yes. Is
Okay.
it just the dots under all those letters? Because now I can't see you've circled them.
Yeah, it's just the dots. Let me. I'm removing the circles now. You see?
Oh,
Mhm. And thank you for your patience and not getting bored, because I'm a very slow speaker and I'm a very slow learner. So we're doing everything very slowly. If you are frustrated, I'm sorry. But I guarantee you're going to learn something. So now, let's go to the O sound, all right, which is O. A, E, I, O. Let me get rid of these examples. And really don't worry about it, because you will go back to this video and you watch it again and you will learn these things again. So now we have A, E, now we go to O, the O sound. What do we find in the O sound? The O sound, we find a chatav patach. It's a patach that you already, sorry, it's a chatav kamatz. Not the chatav patach, it's a kamatz. It's a chatav kamatz, which is kamatz, but it's reduced. Again, let's use Aleph as an example. Now we have a chatav kamatz. Again, don't stress about remembering them. Just go back to the video. So what is kamatz? Kamatz. It means when you see this, kamatz plus shwa, it means O sound. So this is pronounced as O. That Aleph now is O, it's no longer A. You see it? Hopefully I'm spelling this correctly. When we talk about people that return to Israel, hopefully it's correct, but I don't want to do the incorrect thing. Forgive me if this is not correct. For example, the people that do Aliyah and they arrive in Israel in an airplane, we call them Olim. Olim, which means people doing Aliyah. If this is incorrect, all the Hebrew teachers, please forgive me. I'm just trying to make an example of O. So if we say Olim, which means the people who arrive in Israel that do Aliyah, and then the news in Israel say, there were 400 Olim that came from India, for example. It just means that there were 400 people doing Aliyah. Yes, who's got their hand up? Somebody
Me.
had their hand up.
Me. Yes,
Yes,
me.
please correct my
Um,
spelling.
Yeah, remember, we're together. I'm just using my Google. It's not me.
No,
It's
perfect, perfect.
it's Ain Vav Lamed Yud Mem. It's with Ain
So it's Ayin Vav.
Lamed Yud final Mem.
Okay, thank you for correcting
Yeah.
me. That's what I want. Yeah,
It's
that's
just
what I
Google.
want.
Don't worry.
Oh, it's okay. So Olim. So this actually, where's the? That means if it's Olim, then that means there's gonna be a Cholem here somewhere. Actually, on top of the Vav. Olim. Yeah. So this is basically what I was trying to illustrate is that it's an O sound and no longer an A. So this Aleph mustn't make you go A. The vowels at the bottom dictate that you go O. Okay. And then we have a kamatz katan. Okay. What does it mean, kamatz katan? It's exactly the same kamatz, which is an A sound, but now we are not using the A sound as an A sound anymore. We're going to be using it as an O sound. But you see kamat, but you pronounce O. For example, so if we say this is an A, kamat is supposed to be an A, but now the rules of grammar say that we must pronounce this as an O. So this now becomes Kol Hanefesh. Kol Hanefesh. What does it mean, Kol? This is Kol. In Hebrew, it means everything. Everything. Kol. Like the psalm says, Kol Haneshama Tel Hallelujah. This is, I think it's Psalm 150. Kol Haneshama Tel Hallelujah, which means all and every living soul must bless Hashem. So now, the confusing thing in our brains is that we see but the rules of grammar say we must say O. So when you read this verse in the Bible, it's going to be O and not A. Kol. Not Kal, but Kol. Kol Haneshama. If this is confusing, it is confusing. But you're going to learn it. All right, and then we have in the O sounds, we have this dot at the top. Yes.
Don't
Yes.
get it. And I've been always having problem with that when I read. I don't know because I keep seeing the patach. So
Yeah.
for me, it's a ma. Would you be so kind that explained again something that it will that I
Absolutely.
will get it?
Yeah. So let's go to the Bible and let's go and look for Psalm 150. Let's go see. Okay, so I want one that has a call with a command. Here's a call, okay? And so here's a call, okay? This is the one I want you to learn first. So this is a call, but also it is equal to this call, okay? Two ways of writing it with a kamatz, which becomes then an or with a cholem on top. But I want you to learn this one first. So I'm looking for a Bible verse now with let's see. Let me go find it. Mm, let's see what Psalm. 1 second. I'm trying to find a good example. So just be patient with me. I'm going to go somewhere for a few seconds. I'm going to be with you just now. Because Psalm 150 is the most obvious one, but it's got a cholem. I want to find one that has a kamatz in it. There's about 100 verses in the Bible that have kol. So let's go see Psalm 148, what it says. I'm just looking for an example here. Just bear with me. Let me move my screens around. Okay, just bear with me. I'm looking. There it is. Can you see it here? It says Hallelujah, and then it says Kol Malachayv, or Malachayv. There's Kol. Can you see it? You've got Kaf, Lamet, and then you have a Batach. Can you see it? Over here?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So what we know is, there's a good one. Here's a good one here. You see this one doesn't have a dagesh in there.
Yes, Rabbi.
So hallelujah, kol ma'al chai, hallelujah. And then it says here with a dagesh, kol, which means everybody. So this is kol without dagesh, kol with dagesh, which means everything. Kol
So
tzeva'av.
what would be
Mhm.
the difference in pronunciation when it has the dagesh in both call?
Okay, So this one has no dagesh. Can you see?
Yeah. So how do you pronounce it? The same thing?
Kol, kol. This one has a dagesh, so it's kol.
Ah, it's longer. Okay.
Yeah.
Like doubling,
So
doubling it, doubling.
exactly. So in English, this is everything, and
Mhm.
this one is everything. You see it?
I see the same.
Did you get the difference? All right. Cool. Let's carry on. Let me go back. Mhm. Hmm? Oh, one hand was up. Yes. Anybody? Somebody's Sister Miriam. Your hand was up.
Yeah, Miriam.
Yes, Rabbi, thank you so much. I came late. I came a little bit late, and you mentioned when you were teaching us about uh Kataf Kamat,
Yes.
and you explained to us when he has the points down instead of ha, like Aleph, so
Yeah.
it will be pronounced ho, not ha.
Oh, exactly.
And the I couldn't listen very well. The m, the mem, the mem
Yes.
with the sign, the sign without a point. You I want to get that very well. Yes, here,
I mean,
the
this one?
whole. Yes, the one you circle, the one with the
Oh,
circle.
okay.
Yes,
Okay. So this is yod, the letter yod, okay, plus chirik. Chirik is this dot over here. This is chirik over here. That gives us chirik maleh, which is a complete maleh. So it's not just me, it's me. It's like me. And the other one is just me. So the chirik is just me. Chirik maleh with yod is
yes,
me.
me. Okay.
Yeah. For example, um, if I say amarti, amarti, it means I said or I spoke. Amarti. Without the chirik male, it's amarti, amarti. But now with a yud, it's amarti, amarti. That long complete e, amarti means I, myself. Amarti, I said, I spoke. You see?
Yes,
Does it make sense?
yes, yes. Same sound like the one of recent from the Psalm 190 with everything and everything.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. So
So that
you must you're doing very well by noting the different sounds, how different the sounds are from each other, because that's everything. Niqqud, all of these things, these vowels are called Niqqud, and the reason why they were invented is so that we should know what sound to use in pronouncing a word, because original Hebrew doesn't have Niqqud, it doesn't have vowels. So you're doing very well, Sister Miriam. And then we have a cholem. A cholem is this one. Some people say cholam, but I say cholam. Actually, let me write this again correctly. It is a cholam. And that just means an O sound. O. You see? O-H. O. It's an O sound. But cholam, maleh, complete, is written in a different way. So this is just an O, a cholam. So now we have a cholam maleh, which I'm going to write it here. Let's use mem because that's how it's written. Sorry, let me go back down here. So it's written with a mem, a vav, and a cholam on top. This is cholam maleh, which means a complete cholam. Cholam maleh, which means a complete cholam. So now we have O over here, and then we have O. We have O, and then we have O. All right, so there's an additional H to our sound. So it was O plus another H, which makes it which makes the sound a bit longer. So this is O, cholam, and O. So the word we have is more, which is O plus another H sound. Does it make sound? Does it make sense?
For me, it does.
Okay. Okay, good. So let me go and take out some examples on top here. I'm sorry, guys, if you're bored, but there's no other way. There's no other way around it. You're kind of stuck with me. So now we have O and O, like more, with the double H. Now we have another sound, which is a lot deeper, which is still cholem maleh. It's also cholem maleh. So we have the cholem on top of mem, and then we have a hey sound, which is an open sound, which is also a cholem maleh. Okay. Which means it's our O sound plus another H, O, more. Here we have a vav. We have a vav and cholem. That's the difference. In this one, the cholem is on top of mem, and there's no vav, and then there's H. Do you guys understand what it means? It means that in Hebrew, sometimes the O sound in Hebrew can be written with a vav and a cholem, or it can be written with the letter. In this case, let's use mem with the letter carrying the cholem plus hey. All of them mean O. Different spelling. One has a vav, one doesn't have a vav, but they all mean the same thing. O, a complete O sound. All right. Any questions on the O sound?
No, sir.
Yes. Huh? Everyone's good. Okay. We're almost done, and then we're gonna read. So we are doing the last vowel, which is U. There's U. There's an U sound, and immediately in Hebrew, this is U. 3 dots that are going down like this, and we're gonna use mem as a volunteer to carry the U sound. Okay, and this U sound, of course, we call it a kubutz. Kubutz. How I remember khubutz is I remember that in Arabic, khubutz in Arabic is bread in Arabic. So for me to remember this sound, I just go khubutz. Ah, khubuz. Ah, okay. So in Hebrew, it's khubutz. Doesn't mean bread in Hebrew, but it does in Arabic. It's just my way of remembering it. And so khubutz is the oo sound. When you see these three dots underneath, it is an oo sound. And then we go to shuruk. Shuruk is an interesting one. So we had khubutz. Now we must have shuruk. Shuruk is a dagesh inside the vav. You see it? This is called a shuruk. Shuruk. So there's two ways in Hebrew to write the u sound that we know of so far. It is the kubutz and the shuruk. For example, let's see. If we write beyom, u, uva, laila. Oh, stop doing that. So if we write beyom, uva, laila, does somebody know what beyom, uva, laila means?
Day and night.
Exactly, day and night. So we have Beyom, there's our Cholem, U, the Laila, day and night. So we have letters in Hebrew that are 7 letters that are grouped together. All of them have pairs. They're called Begat Kefat. We haven't learned them yet. And the grammar rule says if there is a Begat Kefat consonant, we cannot use there for the conjunction and. We must use rather u before Begat Kefat. So Beith is part of those Begat Kefat letters. So before Beith, we have to use u. So if I want to say at night, I say balayla. Okay. But because I say beyom, which means by day, beyom, by day, and there's Begat Kefat rules. B is part of Begat Kefat, so the spelling changes. The spelling changes from the to shuruk, u, before the B sound. Balayla has a dagesh and a kamatz. Now the dagesh is gone. There's no dagesh anymore because the diphthong is broken. So there's no dagesh anymore because of the shuruk. After the shuruk, the dagesh disappears. There's no more dagesh. This is balayla at night. It has a balayla. It has a dagesh, but the dagesh now has disappeared because of the u valayla. And the spelling, the pronunciation is different. From B, balayla, we go to valayla, a V sound. This is a V sound. This is a B sound. The dagesh is there. There's no dagesh because the diphthong is broken by what? By u. Shuruk. Beyom u valayla. By day and by night. right? So you can always go back to the video and go back to this video, rewind it, watch it again. Yes.
My question is, do we have from the class like flyers or not flyers, like the rules in a sheet
Yeah,
paper?
yeah, the rules are in the textbook. You remember the textbook, Aleph with Beith?
Yes.
Okay, so you downloaded that textbook. All the grammatical rules are in that textbook. But it's a very good textbook because it doesn't give you everything at once. It gives you the rules little by little, you see? So, which means in the next lesson, the more we progress in the grammar, is the more the rules are going to become clearer. You see?
Okay.
This was just to mention the reason why the pronunciation must change and why the spelling has changed when we introduce shuruk. But don't worry, you will get it still in the future in the textbook. All right, let's do some reading so that we can finish our lesson with some sort of achievement. Let's go find our Sidur again. And let's go back to Modeh, the morning prayer. I'm going to make this bigger again so that we can all see it. Now, I'm going to ask people by name. Actually, not by name. Let me ask for volunteers. I think that's a little bit more friendly. Let me push this up. When we wake up in the morning and we open our eyes, we do the morning blessings, right? So don't read this part, okay? So don't read this, ignore this, completely ignore it. Completely ignore this middle section. I just want you to read the part here that's in bold. Does anybody want to read this word? What does this word say? So what you're going to do is you're going to read the word, and then you're going to spell out for me each letter, okay? Does anybody want to try? This word here. Okay. So this word is Yes.
Is it mode?
Yeah. Modeh. So we have mem. What's the next letter?
It's a valve with a holem.
Perfect. The
And
next one?
then the dalet with just hold on a sec, must find. It's a dalet with a segol and then a hay.
Very good. So modeh. Modeh. What's the next word that follows in the prayer?
Ani?
Ani. Good. And what
That's
are the vowels?
an Aleph. Yes, that's an
Yes.
an Aleph
Mhm.
with Patach and a Shirik, Nun, and Yud.
Okay. So it's an Aleph with a Kataf patach, which means a half. Patach, chataf patach, this two dots and patach. So that means your A sound is very short. Modeh ani, modeh ani. And does somebody know what the word ani means? Ani means
Me,
me or I or me. Modeh ani, which means modeh, thankful I am. Thankful I am. Modeh ani, thankful I am. Next word. Does anybody want to try and read this word? Lefanecha. Lefanecha. So, thankful I am lefanecha. How do we know the meaning of this word? Here's a root. The root here is pay. So we have panei, which means face. Okay. Lefanecha means thankful I am lefanecha, before your face. I am grateful, or grateful I am lefanecha, before your face. What is the next word?
melech,
Good. And what are the accompanying vowels?
segol, segol,
Good. And what's inside chet or kaf?
that's a shirik. I'm not sure.
Shva. Shva.
Shva. I'm sorry, Shva.
So yeah, so the Shva is telling us that this this kaf sofit, this is a letter kaf sofit, must be pronounced as normal. That's what the Shva says. So melech. Here we have a kaf sofit with a patach. So we would say lefanecha. The patach, sorry, not the patach, the kamatz. Lefanecha. The kamatz tells us we must pronounce kaf as a. Here in melech, the Sheva says, don't put a vowel, pronounce kaf as normal. Melech, without a vowel. You see the difference? So let's go read. Modeh ani lefanecha melech. What is this word?
Hi.
Melech chai. What does chai mean?
Vida, life.
Yeah, life or living. Life or
Okay.
living, which means grateful I am before your face, O King, who is alive or living king. Melech chai, living king. And then we have here another word. Can somebody tell me? Sorry. So we have chai, which is a chet, and yod. And then what is that vowel underneath chet?
Patach.
Exactly, it's a patach. What is this word? Vav, kuf, yod, mem,
Vekayam.
vekayam. Exactly. There we have shva, the two dots underneath vav. That means it's and. So I am thankful I am before your face, O living King. And. So the shva, the two dots, say we must pronounce ve as per normal, vekayam. All right. Let's see the translation. Vekayam, because you have been, and because you have been, vekayam, and this is vav k, and there's a patach, there's a yod with a dagesh. Can you see the yod with a dagesh? So it's not vekayam, it's vekayam, vekayam, because of the dot, the dagesh inside of yod, and because of the kamatz, it's a long sound, vekayam. Okay. Yes, whose hand is up?
Mine.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Does it mean when you say Bekayam and it has the dagesh, the yud, it would give it like a accent? Accent
Exactly.
in the. It's an accent. Ah, okay.
Like in Spanish, you have in Portuguese, you have the tilde, the
Sí.
accent on top of. That's exactly what it is here.
Ah, okay. So every time I have it that way, that means I make like a strong sound, like I'm putting the accent over there.
Exactly. That's exactly what it does, what the Niqqud does.
Thank you.
And then the next word, does anybody want to read this word? This is shin, by the way. This is shin. She, shehechezarta. Shehechezarta. So here we have segol, she. Underneath we have he. But underneath chet, we have a shorter sound. We have a, let me go see quickly. We have a chatav segol. Let's go see and make sure so that we don't continue on the wrong page. Let's go. Let me go see quickly. I'll be with you in a sec. I just want to make sure of. Oops. Let me go see. 1 second. Okay, that's true. It is definitely a chatav segor. So we are 100% sure that it is a chatav segor. This one here. So it's shehechez. It's not shehechezarta. No, it's shehechezarta. You see how short this is? Shehechezarta. Did you hear it? Shehechezarta.
Yes,
But
yes,
now
yes.
the tav has a dagesh and a kamatz, so it's shehechezarta. Shehechezarta, a long sound. And here we have kamatz with zain, shin, hey, chet, zain, reish, tav. Underneath zain we have kamatz, sorry, we have patach. Underneath reish we have sheva, the two dots. Underneath the tav we have a kamatz and a dagesh, shehechzarta, emphasis on ta. This one, just to save time, is B, and it is a dagesh. And a chirik maleh. Chirik maleh means a complete chirik, which is a dot and a yud. B, B, B. And then we have the next word, which is nishmati. Again, we have chirik that is complete. Nishmati. Which means my soul. B, it actually means in Hebrew, in my soul. Neshamati. And this is nun Nun, Shin, Mem, Tav, and Yud. There's a chirik, Maleh, a complete chirik because of the Yud. There's a kamatz underneath Mem. There's a shva underneath Shin, which means we don't pronounce the we don't put a vowel underneath the Shin. And then we have here a simple chirik with just a dot, and there's no Yud. The word is nishmati, nishmati, which means my soul. The next word is vechemla, vechemla, vechemla. Okay? Shva says we must pronounce this as the V sound. It's got no dagesh, so it's not B, it's V or ve. Vechemla, vechemla, and then we have a segol, a sheva, a kamatz, and that's it. Vechemla, and then it says here rabba, 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 reish with a kamatz, beit with a dagesh, so it's a double sound, rabba with a kamatz and an H. That gives us a kamatz maleh, a complete kamatz. And the last word is emunatecha, emunatecha, emunatecha. So the translation here we have a segol. It's a chatav segol, a half segol, chatav segol. Here we have a shuruk, shuruk, because it's emuna, shuruk, emuna techa. We have a segol, and inside the kaf, we have a kamatz, emuna techa, which means your faithfulness, your trustworthiness, emuna techa. So let's read this prayer. I've taken 2 hours of your time this morning. I apologize, but I think we learned something. Now let's read this prayer. I want you to listen to me, and then we're going to read together as a group. With a little bit of a melody, a synagogue melody, it goes, Modeani lefanecha melech chai vekayam. And then it goes back to Modeani. Modeani lefanecha melech chai vekayam. Shehezarta binishmati Bechemla rabba emunatecha. It goes back. Shehezarta binishmati Bechemla rabba emunatecha. All right, let's read together normally without the melody. Let's read from the beginning. Mo de ani
Ani
lefanecha
lefanecha
melech chai
melech
Chai
vekayam.
Ayam.
vekayam.
vekayam
Now it gets interesting. Sheheche zarta bi
bi
nishmati
nishmati
bechemla
Emla
rabba
Rama
emunatecha.
emunatecha.
Wonderful. Unfortunately, I have to stop now. We can't go to Psalms because we've taken 2 hours. But did you learn something today? I'm not, like I said, I'm not a perfect Hebrew teacher. I'm learning as you are learning. But did you learn something?
Mhm.
Yes. Thank you.
Perfect. So now, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing, according to halacha, that you must say is Shema, and also Modeani. This is the first of your prayers. So next week we're gonna go to the second prayer that we do while we were still in bed, and the third we're gonna try and read those. But at least now you can memorize your first prayer in Hebrew by going back to the video, rewinding the video, and go and listen to how this is pronounced. And on Monday morning, tomorrow, when you wake up, you can say, Modeh ani lefanecha melechai vekayam, shehechazarta binishmati behemla rabba emunatecha, which is, I'm thankful before you, living and enduring King, for you have mercifully restored my soul within me. Great is your faithfulness. I want to give you guys a bit of a tip. If you learn your prayers in English, it'll be difficult to learn them in Hebrew. So eventually, we're going to ignore the translations, and we are all going to learn to memorize things in Hebrew, including myself. Okay.
Thank
Yom Tov,
you.
everybody.
Yom Tov, Shavua Tov to
So,
everyone.
Shavuot Tov.
Bye,
Everyone,
bye,
thank
Miss
Thank
you.
you.
Patricia,
Shabbat
Shavuot
Miss
Tov.
tov.
Maria,
Bye.
Natalia, Neka, Ravi
See you later.
Hillel. Ciao.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.